All right, that's enough waiting. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another live stream where I, Professor Kaiju, I just don't have the stream at the appropriate time. And shut the fuck up, Bryce. All right, let me try that again. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Dynazenon stream. Golly gosh, I hope you can't hear my neighbors because they're outside my window right now. Anyway, what a finale, right? I felt a little bad last week about not doing episode 11. Just not in the right mood. But honestly, I know someone said this to me too, but I do agree. Not a lot going on last episode. Like, there was stuff going on, but like it was, whatever. It was more of a setup for what was happening this episode. So whatever. Well, who we got here in the chat? Nate Fire, JF Funk Master C, Gojira fan Valerie, hey, nice to see you here. And we got Yowl, okay, awesome. Ghost Tav, hey, hi. Sweet, got a bit of a crowd, normal crowd and whatnot. The ending was something. Yep, I enjoyed it. It was Macross all over again. Haven't seen Macross. Big fight in the end, followed by life going on. Yep. Yep. I'll get my thoughts out of the way. It could have been done better, but I loved it anyway. All right. They had to save something for the crossover. I like the connection they made to the 90s Gridman series. Yep. As long as they answer some questions in the crossover, about 80% of my problems would disappear. So episode 11 pretty much confirmed. Yep. That ending played out exactly as I thought. The show pretty much was set on its collision course since around episode 4, and nothing could change it. Okay. I don't like the sound of that. Okay. Hello. In my opinion, leaving all the tying up for the crossover is emblematic of bad writing, though. Like, you couldn't manage your time well enough. You're just... Rather literally, in episode 11, straight up use Gridman footage with a filter. Yep. I'm watching episode 18 from the original Gridman. Awesome. We can't hear your neighbors, but your blue screen is down. I don't know how to set... So I had my green screen set up. Just, like, actually put in place, finally, because, like, I've had this thing... And then I realized it was stream time, and I actually hadn't looked up how to actually do it properly. You know, I should probably, like, maybe if I expand this and, like, I waited to the last minute. You know, I don't even know what I was going to put back there. Like, I always mean to, like, prepare stuff for streams. Like, I took a while to do some other stuff to set up for the stream stuff, and then, like, I'll think at the last minute, it's like, you know what, I'd like to do this instead of having, like, crap in the background, because, like, I've been meaning to organize and clean some stuff up in here, but we're not here to talk about my mess of an office space. That's not really, it's close, it's sort of, whatever. Yeah, thankfully for the mic, I don't think you're going to pick up our neighbors, but it sounded like people weren't exactly doing too well out there. Anime, that's how you make a shared universe. Okay, so I keep seeing shared universe stuff. What did I miss something? Am I like, okay, all right, I do. Am I the fool? Am I a fool because I haven't been, like, on Twitter as much? I'm gonna be really pissed off if I miss something. Shit. No, I don't even want to read chat. I don't even want to read chat. I just want to see, did I miss something? Seeing a lot of good stuff. Yeah. Oh, that's what it's supposed to be. Oh, that's interesting. I also hate looking on Twitter because, like, I sometimes, like, don't put shit together, and then I see other people put shit together, and I'm like, damn it. Why am I not that smart? Call myself the professor for absolutely nothing. Gridman, Dynazenon, next Gridman universe. Oh. This looks official. Is this, like, actually official? Oh my god, now my cat wants to come in here. I was trying to keep... Okay, hold on a second. Oh my god. Ryan, come in if you want. I swear to God, if you rip the entire set down, I'm going to be upset. Okay. Now let me see what people are saying. Fingers crossed of seeing running into each other, yelling and commenting, hello, I've been watching your reviews. This is the first time I caught you live. Oh, Pedro Quispe or Quispe. I thank you for watching my reviews, and I'm happy you caught me. I'm hoping to put out more stuff eventually, but I appreciate joining. I hope you've actually watched Dynazenon, and this isn't like a huge spoiler or something like that, unless you don't care. So worried about my cat just knocking something over. I missed it first, but they announced Gridman. There we go. Hi, Ryan. Hi. Say hi. All right, just don't turn off my keyboard before he does something terrible. They announced Gridman X Dynazenon. Okay, single black card. This is said. Wait, was that at the end of the episode? Did I miss that? I think I may have missed that if that was in. I think I may have missed that if that was actually in the episode. Wow, I'm dumb. if I had to rank the finales, it would be first, Dynazenon would be second, and 90s Grim would be last. Episode 11, legendary tier footage reused. Yeah. I really enjoyed that. Which Ultraman in Ultra Legal Dispute, the Gridman universe is surprisingly important. It's really important to me because I just really like it. And let me just get this out of the way. I haven't really delved much into Ultraman universe. Again, still, there's just sometimes I'm just not in the mood to watch Tokusatsu, and then randomly I'm like, I'm gonna watch, half a season of something. Like Gridman more than Ultraman. Anyway, my ranking would be SSSS Grid Dynazenon. I like your shirt. Thank you. I appreciate that. I decided to wear a button up tonight. I didn't really feel like wearing a t-shirt today. Ultraman's kind of out of legal dispute considering the U.S. ruling last year. Okay. Yeah, I've been reading some stuff about that. So obviously, Bluta dresses a mummy and Yume is the ghost. Yes! Oh, there's so many good references and probably stuff that I'm going to miss and I'm going to have to take some time to, actually look through. Twitter, not in the episode. Okay, yeah, thank you. Because I'm happy that I didn't, because I was about to say, I'm pretty sure I watched the episode till the end. Okay, so it was just on Twitter. Because I see that now. I completely missed that. I'm always skeptical. I like to like and retweet a bunch of shit on my Twitter, everyone who follows me on there. But I just sometimes don't want to do that with something like, hi Ryan, something like an anime that's still premiering and stuff like, hi, stuff like that. Just because I don't want to spoil stuff for people, accidentally. But yeah, you should bring your cat on for After Darks. So Valerie, my problem is that Orion is a very fickle beast, and I'll be up in this room for hours and he won't come in here. And then the moment that I'm like, okay, I need to do stuff I'll mess with some cosplay stuff or something I don't want him to get into, or either destroy it or hurt himself. And then that's when, I'll slowly close the door and then out of nowhere I'll just hear meow. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep talking. Hopefully you still don't hear my neighbors outside. I love him, but he's man oh man, does he have a mind of his own. Or it wasn't on the bootleg site I watched. Yeah, well, whatever. It's, I don't know. I'm just, okay, I'm happy to hear that, I had a feeling this was going to happen. I knew there was going to be something other Gridman-wise because, it just seems to be, it's the popularity of the show has been, skyrocketing to me. The first season just, did so well with all the merchandise and stuff like that, and it seemed like Dynazenon was doing just as well, if not maybe a little better. I'm not entirely sure. I don't have any metrics. I don't really know, but it just seems like from the amount of stuff that I've been seeing pumped out on Twitter, social media, and stuff like that, it seems like this show has also hit the market over there in Japan. But over here in the West, I just don't see as many people talking about it. In the Toku sphere, a lot of people here, I see a lot of people, retweeting, talking about, how amazing of a show it is. And I mean, I'm not saying it's a godsend, god tier anime, but it's really up there, and I just didn't really see a lot of people talk about the first season, not seeing a lot of people talk about this one, so I don't know. Whatever. Hopefully it'll get at some point, it'll get some kind of recognition in the broader community. The crossover card was on the Japan broadcast airing. What? If you're gonna have that for that, then why you should include that with the actual whatever. It was on Twitter. That explains why I missed it. Yeah, so did I. So did Galma revived at the end, or Dynazenon woke up at the end. Yeah, I'm back and forth on what happened there at the end, and I'll go over what I think. What I never understood about the princess we saw is that in canon, Galma would be Chinese. The princess is very much Japanese in her clothing. Yeah, well, I feel like they kind of retconned a few things with that. So, I usually have problems seeing too many retcons, or changing things with lore and stuff like that. But if that's the case, like, it seems like it's a very tiny change. Like, let's just, maybe they'll just make them Japanese in general or something. But yeah, there we go. Orion, you're on the internet. He doesn't care. He doesn't give two shits about anything. Doesn't give a shit about me usually. Blazing Inferno Carrier. Yeah. Yeah, you see, if I tried to use Orion as a cannon, he'd probably look at me for like a couple seconds in, this like what kind of, face, and then proceed to try to wriggle out of my hands while trying to claw me to death. Seeing Yomo do the instant domination was one of the most satisfying anime moments. Yeah, I really liked that. I worked with Gridman a lot. Dynazenon was either better or the same, or as good as Gridman, solid all the way. Chekhov's gun fired, and people wonder why Mecha isn't popular anymore. Oh, god damn it, Orion. It's because you anime fans are talking about them. I mean, yeah, I've been out of anime, like, in general for a while. This past year or 2 years is like me jumping back into stuff. So myself, the toys were selling gangbusters. The interact with Gridman as well. Maybe he was foreign and picked up the language. So I'm unclear this mummy thing because I haven't seen Gridman take place before or after. Mecha was also oversaturated for basically a decade, so market recovering from that could also be the case. Dynazenon would definitely be post-90s Gridman, since some of the 90s footage was used in Dynazenon. Definitely way after Gridman implied the place took the 90s Gridman. The idea was Takeshi hijacks the mummy's mind and wakes him up to believe that Yuka was the princess. Yes, sorry, I've just been on autopilot. Yeah, Nate Fire. So, yeah, so this all would take place after. So the timeline would be original Gridman, SSS Gridman, and then SSS Dynazenon, from everything that they've shown in there. And yeah, the original idea was that the big villain, Khan Digifier, and his underling, basically Takeshi, like the Akane equivalent, took control of the mummy from, like, they excavated this mummy or whatever, and they went by like the some sort of logic stuff, where they brought a mummy back to life sort of thing, the curse of the mummy or whatever, and they made the mummy think that the girl of the main cast, Yuka, yeah, you just said that too, right? Yuka. I almost want to say Yuta, but that was from whatever. So they basically did a whole plot thing, made the mummy like try to attack them, made them Galma think that Yuka was the princess, but they were finally able to like stop the evil kaiju that kind of like had control over him. And what you see in episode 11, when he's talking or when he hears that voice, it's like a very crazy distorted, it probably looks like it's the actual footage from that episode. And it's just got this video distortion, audio distortion stuff. And it's basically like implied, yeah, that was Galma, and he heard through the veil, basically. Don't want to run over my cat. Basically heard Yuka's voice, and that's him remembering everything. So, yeah. And yes, Yao. So that would be his second. Yeah, that would probably be his second revival, because he was technically kind of revived in an undead state in the 90s Gridman, and then he was actually revived into, a pretty boy anime character, fully realized in SSSS Dynazenon. Though he is not technically a himbo, I do view Galma as like himbo, diet himbo or something. Not. I need to look at that funny little Venn diagram thing they have of the himbo chart. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Let's talk about, I forgot to have, I don't have like my stuff ready. That's bad on me. That's not good. All right. because I forgot I'm talking about 2 episodes. I'm gonna let's just get into this. I'm gonna actually do some review thing, and oh no, where did episode 11 go? Oops. I think. Oh yeah, never mind. I know I put it in a different folder. Okay. I really hope that nothing too bad is going on outside. Okay, I'm going to take this out of this one. And then we're going to skedaddle into this folder. That's why you should have everything prepared. Okay, and then... No, I don't want this to play. Oh, God, I don't want this to play. I don't want this to play. Okay. All right. Let's switch over. Stream. Get. All right, so I'm going to very, very quickly go over episode 11 because, you know, like some of the important stuff. Because as I do, I'd like to just break down and go over all this. Oh, no, I'm not fully centered. Hold on. Okay, you can't see the background. All right, so as episode 10 ended, we had the crazy kaiju that could, as confirmed in episode 12, it really did actually distort reality and space and time. Which, again, like it's like Bojack, the kaiju from the first season that did the dreams, except Bojack on steroids. So that thing basically distorted and allowed them to actually go back to their past, but I guess with, you know, not actually like affecting it, but kind of like this like one-way thing. Honestly though, I don't know, like maybe it would have just left them in the past if they had accepted it, if they had, you know, if the kaiju had actually if they hadn't stopped the kaiju. I'm kind of curious if they've just been like stuck in the past, if that was like they would get back to the future, or they'd be just stuck in this like weird offshoot timeline, but that doesn't matter. Our kaiju eugenicists, our villains, are all kind of just like, yo, that sucked, and basically there's no more kaiju anymore. So guess we'll have to find hobbies or something, or jobs or whatever. Yeah, Suzuna being his kind of mopey self. What I really like about this episode, though, is like, so not a lot of action stuff going on in this episode, but a lot of character, some character development, not like 100% character, a lot of character development. Shut up, Bryce. Shut the fuck up. Don't know what I'm talking about sometimes. Anyway, Koyomi here, actually looking for a suit, so that's some character development. Right, they got Yume and Yamogi. I'll remember. Got some crab crisps for Galma, thinking, you know, you might want to actually eat like this food instead of, you know, eating actual crabs. Though I will admit, the actual crabs are probably way more healthy for Galma. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know if eating raw crab is like super healthy, but probably a little bit healthier than, you know, whatever they got from the store. But it's a nice gesture. That's the point. You know, they like him. He likes them. Yume's friend picking a photo for the festival that's about to come up. And then Yume being like, you better not use any photos that you used of me. And it's like, she's like, Then we've got Chise back in her school uniform trying to return to school, but she feels very scared still. Second and Knight visiting her because they're going to be leaving soon, and also letting her know that they'll be taking Goldburn with them, which sucks. Almost wish there was some way that, you know, something could change, but it's like one of those, like, you know, she hasn't even really been around with this kaiju for very long. They've already got to go. But basically, they really shouldn't be in this world. So Chise is a little upset, runs away, probably from the stress of work. It's not work, going to school and everything too. So she's going visiting Goldburn. We got Galma, and I I've been trying to get better with these names, but I do not remember Glasses Jack Off. Doesn't really matter. I'm trying to remember what he said to him. We lost all this stuff, whatever. Galma just gets really pissed off, and it's probably mainly from him remembering everything that happened the previous episode between them, and had to relive that. So he just like beats the shit out of him. Like at some point, I was like, man, is Galma just gonna like just fucking murder him in cold blood right here? So he decides to leave, which is probably good. Galma's feeling down. Because he thought, again, that when he was revived, he would see the princess, because hopefully she would be revived as well. But unfortunately, he hasn't seen her, and he doesn't know why. Yes, and this is the part, and he's just wondering, like, why... I think this is the part where he asked, Yomogi asked, like, why you think this... Right, and it's like the message from episode 18 of the original Gridman series. So this heavily distorted whatever, it might actually be footage from the show or, you know, whatever, but it definitely is what they said in the show. Yuka, the original female cast member of the main three, was trying to reach the mummy, you know, with her words and everything, and let him know that the princess died so she could meet him. She committed suicides because Galma was poisoned by basically like the government, whatever government that the princess was part of, her people, and because they were afraid of his power. And basically the princess really loved Galma and did not, pull a Romeo and Juliet sort of situation, but was... That's an alarm. Okay. Man. You ever just accidentally set random alarms on your phone? I have. It's really stupid. I don't know how it happens. Just gonna turn off all that. So he, of course, thought that, you know, she would actually, you know, he'd still be able to meet her and everything. You know, this random voice talking to him, like, basically beyond the grave. But he hasn't seen her. You know, so it's very frustrating, very sad for Galma, not knowing why you can't see her, and ask for all the Dynazenon pieces back, the mechs, because they probably won't be needing Dynazenon anymore. We got Koyomi getting some nice looking pictures of himself, you know, fairly decent pictures of himself for his, oh, that's right, he wasn't asking for his suit. No, he did ask for a suit. He was looking for his resume. He was updating his resume. He wants to get a job and everything. So cleaning himself up. He still thinks he looks awful. You know, I don't particularly think bowl cuts are horrendously terrible or anything. I've probably had a good chunk of my life has had bowl cut, sort of. I never know what the fuck to do with my hair. But whatever. He's just like, this isn't great. And then we got Mujina, and Mujina letting him know that they've lost and they're gonna basically leave. And I've been meaning to go back in the episodes between these two when they met, because, like, I feel like I missed something with that. Like, I know it feels like maybe Koyomi thought there was something there, or he felt a little desperate with her. But anyway, also, this... A lot of people talking about this on Twitter. I know Yao talked about this on Twitter. A bunch of other people. Yes. What's that? A mirror? Yes. This image right here is definitely not a heavily filtered image from the episode 18 of the original Gridman of the Mummy. That is, in fact, a mirror. It was an ancient mirror that was stolen. 5,000-year-old mirror that went missing from the museum. And they're like, oh, that mirror must be Galma. I think you meant mummy. It's mummy. I'm not going to pretend to know about translations and stuff like that, but I feel like if someone had just taken, like, 10 seconds to, like, say that to themselves. Like, a mirror went missing. That must be our friend Galma. No? No? Whatever. So anyway, yeah, this is 100%, 1000%, 25,000,000%. Galma is the mummy. That's like, yeah, this is just a full-on confirmation. If you had even an inkling of doubt, it's the mummy. Which, basically, like, sometimes I just miss stuff, but, like, I think they are heavily 100,000% implying that this is, in fact, the real world, you know, through the lens of anime, and everything, and, the world, like, Knight and Second were coming back from, the world left behind in SSSS Gridman, and maybe that's why a lot of the imagery from SSSS Gridman, certain scenes and certain settings look the exact same, because they, of course, were based off of Akane's, you know, her mind. So I would not be surprised if she projected a lot of the real world stuff into that virtual little bubble that she made. But it really does feel like that, yeah, this is the real world. Galma was revived here. And Second and Auntie came from there. From, Second and Knight came from, the other, you know, the world. And that's what I'm believing, unless someone wants to make an hour-long video analysis telling me something else. Galma not looking so hot. He's not sure what's going on with him. Go back to Yume. She wants to go see her sister's grave, or visit her sister's grave. Her father is very interested in that, because she's never shown a want to do that before. Asks her for a ride, if she needs a ride. And Yomogi's like, I gotta skip out on the dinner that we had planned, because I need to go do something. Which, of course, is going with Yume to her sister's grave. Second, trying to make Knight be a little bit more, respectable, a little bit more appreciative of Galma's help, even though Galma has also done some harm. He has, you know, if it wasn't for him, a lot of other shit would have been fucked up by this point. I love Knight. I love Galma. I love Second. I love all these characters. I love almost all these characters. I love most of these characters. Yume Yomogi visiting the grave of Yume's sister, which is really nice. Just like little somber character moments like this, all in this episode. And just, it feels really good. It's really nice to see all this stuff. These people kind of growing, doing different things. We still see the problems that the Kaiju created, which is something that has not been exactly brought up too much in the show. I will admit, I think there's a lot of stuff that they could do better. They could have done better with the storytelling and what they could have spent their time on in the show. And then Yume Yomogi walking, and Yomogi pulls it off. He's just like, I like you. Do you want to go out? And I'm like, fuck. He actually did it. Not left it ambiguous like at the end of SSSS Gridman. Of course, also, I didn't really care about seeing Rika and Yuta actually getting together. I want to see these two get together. I actually am invested in their relationship. And of course, Suzumu comes out of nowhere, being the fucking cuck blocker that he is. And right, now I get why Galma died as a Kaiju user and became human. Shit, I actually do forget what he said there. Because he's just like you two. Again, I feel like there's some other stuff. So I think it's basically like Suzumu's trying to say that he feels like Galma became more of a human because he was weak. You know, he showed too much emotion. That is the feeling I get from Suzuma. The more he talks like that, like, you know, he's had those little bits like, real Kaiju users don't sleep. Real Kaiju users don't do this and that. He seems very distant and removed from a lot of things, and especially like the last episode. This episode and the last episode really show that off. Even like some of the placements, like when they went back in the past, he was never with the group, the main group. He was always off to the side. So I kind of feel like he was just never, he just doesn't have that much emotion. I think that's purposeful. I think he is supposed to be very disconnected from everything, and he feels like maybe having some of those emotions like make them lesser kaiju users or whatever. But anyway, Galma comes out of nowhere to try to help them out, and Suzumu pulls off some bullshit and blasts Galma into, like backwards, and we finally like get to see the scar is growing and is confirmed by Suzumu. Man, I really wish the subtitles would load up a little bit more. Yeah, I believe he talks about the scar and everything. Basically, it's not really a scar. It's more like his body is decaying. Basically, Galma accepting his humanity back, he's going to eventually die. That's I know someone in the chat, one of our regulars said this earlier, that this was the thing that was going to happen, that they kind of assumed that. Actually, I don't remember if it was in chat or in a comment anymore. I get so mixed up. But I know someone here. I've been very grateful, honestly, to a bunch of my regulars. A lot of you have been wonderful with the ideas and just comments that you guys have had. Just picking up on a bunch of shit in the show, and I really appreciate that. But yeah, it's basically implied that Galma is not going to make it. His body is slowly dying. It seems that the thing... Sometimes I wish there'd be more of a... They'd make more of... I'm trying to think of like the right word I'm looking for. Making more of a like differentiating between like being a human and a kaiju user. Like, I think it's probably implied in a couple episodes back when Galma tried to use the kaiju, the instance domination thing on the small kaiju, and it didn't work. That his power had weakened because he basically was giving up his power. He wasn't using it anymore. So my assumption is that since he basically was like letting that power go, it was the thing that was keeping his body, like more than human. Like apparently all the kaiju users are blessed with some additional powers, being able to control kaiju the way that they do. Like keeping their bodies still alive after they've been revived and everything. So basically, since he's like, Galma's like basically forfeit that power, he's been slowly decaying this entire time. And yeah, there are multiple episodes where you'll see like the mark on his back is like kind of small at one point, and then it's getting bigger and bigger, and then it's like showing, one of them, it like shows beyond his bandages on his hands and stuff. So, if I had, would you become a kaiju user? Wish you had. Oh yeah, it told me that from the start. If I had, would you have become a kaiju user? Yeah, basically like Galma probably still wouldn't have done it even if he had known. And our boy Knight coming out on clutch trying to stop Suzumu. But unfortunately for him, Suzumu also has like crazy like powers like Knight and everyone, like even in like a normal human body, like he's got shit going on, just like Knight, and just like the 4 assist vehicles from SS Gridman first season. But after this encounter, Suzumu does his instance domination, except he flips his hand around and does it like inward. And I didn't really catch that at first when I first watched it. But basically, he has a kaiju inside of him that's been growing. And he was saying earlier, too, that he was very happy that he stuck around Yume and Yomogi because of the emotions that they showed, like, all this time. All the emotions that they have been showing, and especially, like, just now on this walk. He's basically like been letting this kaiju feed off of all of that shit. And, in one of those like anime over the top ways, he takes in that power, the kaiju grows, and he basically like melds with the kaiju, and turns into a kaiju. A kaiju that I am like all about. This color scheme, white, like, I like white and black to begin with. He's got some black going here, and then like the yellow gold trim on it and everything. The way this kaiju looks, like, fucking give me a vinyl toy of this bitch. I want this thing. It's a good looking end boss kaiju. Geez, there we go. I just hate. Okay, hold on. If I turn this back on, I think I can go frame by frame. Fuck it, whatever. I had a close up. Now it's gone. Too bad. So yeah, basically Suzumu, I fucking had it again. Damn it. Whatever. I don't care anymore. Yeah, so shit's going to town. Goldburn notices it. He's going. Koyomi's like, shit, I should probably like put on pants and go, stop shit. And then Goldburn comes to like protect them for a bit. Knight jumps in. And then they're like, well, we don't have everyone else for the vehicles. And Knight's just like, don't worry about it. With Goldburn and shit, I should be able to just, basically use your mechs as my own suit. Don't worry. And then he transforms. And his transformation sequence, too, is cut down, which I kind of like because not everyone is in each vehicle. So it's like, let's just get through this. He, like, bim, bam, boom. He's Kaiser, Grid Knight. Does not fucking matter. This kaiju does not give two shits about if he's a knight or a Kaiser or whatever. Just tosses him like he's absolutely nothing. Galma is in a bad spot. The city's in a bad spot. And red hair mohawk guy, don't remember his name again. Once again, just lucky position. Piece of debris comes in. Breaks him out of the jail cell because earlier he was caught by police because he was trying to grab a gun, because apparently his thing is just he wants to kill humans. Again, I wish there was a little bit more development with some of the villains, getting more into them, whatever, but he's just like, oh shit, and there's a kaiju, yeah boy. And Glasses fuck is just like, oh shit, the time of kaiju is not completely over yet. Hooray! And then Mizuno's just like, I'm cute. And also there's a kaiju. And Grid Knight getting slammed. And then there's this. And man, you know how many of these different images I wanted to use for like the thumbnail I was going to do for the stream last week. Then I was just like, is this too spoilery? Like, also for this one, like, I was really debating on a couple different images. And I was just like, I really don't want to be that jackass who just throws shit out there like that on there. But anyway, that was the episode. And then it just, leads into the finale. And I really like this. It's finally tied the connections with the original series. We get to see that Galma is 100% the Mummy. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. We had to see a lot of good character moments for everyone. And just as it seems like things are going well, except for Galma, then shit hits the fan and Galma hits the floor. And I think it's a fair penultimate episode. Like, there's some things about it that like I don't know if I use penultimate correctly either. But like, it's a good like leading episode for the most part. The only thing about this is just, I feel like there's parts of me that I really like it when people seed ideas and things going on there. And I just feel like this whole Suzumu becoming part kaiju or being like pulled into the kaiju is a little bit out of nowhere, but like, I'm not gonna rag on it that much. It's just like a little nitpick with myself. I really like it when ideas are laid out in a show, or a movie or whatever, and, you build upon those ideas, and it's not just like pulling shit out of your ass, basically. If we had seen something like similar to this where someone like almost got pulled into a kaiju more, like actually like fusing or something with it. I feel like I would be a little bit more down with this, but otherwise, other than that, like the design is good, and it's a lot of build up. Also, I'm really sorry that I was just trying to get through this, ignoring like all of these comments here. So I'm going to take a minute, just double check what everyone's been saying. All right, definitely way after, because as you're going to definitely imply they took place. Yep. Basic idea. Okay, I did read that. I see. So Dynazenon would be the second time he survived. Yes. Dynazenon would be his second revive. Okay. Episode 11 used the actual footage and audio of Yuka telling him off. I'm having Jake from... Are you having Jake from Kaiju Legends try to reconstruct that filter, but it's getting backlogged? Oh my god, Yao. You monster. Dynazenon ended up not fully impressing me, as long as people liked it, it's a win. I understand that. And I want to get more into how I feel after I talk about the finale. It may look like the end of SSSS Dynazenon was Dynarex that helps the 90s Gridman. So did the anime take place between episode 18? I don't think that's what that was. Okay, and then no, it took place after. Yeah. I feel like the timeline to me is just how these basically the timeline is just as these shows have come out. First the original live action show, then the first animated series, then the second animated series, and then eventually, well, actually, I guess we don't know 100%, but I'm pretty sure the next series is going to be right after this one. None of that like crazy, like maybe this one takes place in between these two, but also splits off the timeline or something like that. No, I'm pretty sure the next one will be the same thing too. Dynaworks from cyberspace. Oh, since Dyna woke up in cyberspace, I thought Galma got revived, went to Dynazenon, died, and came back for the episode. No, I don't think that's what that. Yeah, I don't think that's what that was. Shrek, you thought wrong. I don't know if this was a reference to something. Now, maybe something I said. Now, wouldn't it have made a lot more sense and raised way less questions if Shizumu probably misspelled that? That's close enough. I think that's how I say it. Did what Alexis did to turn Akane into a kaiju. Well, I guess that's... I mean, I guess they did lay that groundwork out in the first season. I guess I wasn't thinking about that with Akane. She did get turned into a kaiju. If he had the core there and stuff like that, I guess it's not like... I guess it is kind of there, As I'm not thinking too, this is kind of a sequel series, but also like you don't have to, whatever. Beginning of the 90s episode as end of 90s episode. No, I don't think that's how that happened. Yume, don't use pictures of me. Yume's friend. Nah. Yeah, exactly. No, the entire show would be after. Yeah, no, don't worry. I think that legit is how it's supposed to be. It's a 90s Gridman show, SSSS Gridman, and then Dynazenon. It's only just now dawned on me that Gridman Goldburn is the only kaiju in this whole show that's 100% hand-drawn. No, Zion. There's been a couple times... I think Zion... I think that was its name. The little kaiju that turned big that was like its hands was like... I don't think they used the 3D model even when it became big. I think that one may also be 100% hand-drawn. I think so. Like, unless there's a shot I'm not thinking about where they use like a 3D model. At no point is Goldburn ever in CGI. Yeah, that's true. It is always hand-drawn, which is cool. They didn't mention the importance of the Z mark. No, they didn't, but I just looked on Twitter, and I think someone did point it out. I am flabbergasted again by how people just pick up on shit. It's actually footage and audio from the show. Okay, some of the blotches match up. Okay. I wasn't 100% sure. Princess becomes a ghost. I thought he died after the fight with the others. I think some people. I'm not. This isn't trying to bash anyone. I do think sometimes like it feels like maybe there's something more going on, or you want to think. I think it legitimately is just 90s Gridman, SSSS Dynazenon. You know, the mummy got revived. You know, like that's the idea. Like that's why there was that news article footage, or the news article thing on the phone. That was Galma back from the 90s show. He got fully revived for Dynazenon, like fully humanized and everything. And you know, that bit of the cyberspace at the end too. That's just like where like a lot like Gridman stuff happens. It's like kind of like where Gridman comes from and everything. Like that's this. Okay, so I know that's not technically where Gridman comes from because he comes from the hyper world or whatever, but we haven't fucking seen the hyper world. It's a digital space that lives in all digital machinery and things that don't have digital parts to them as well. 90s Gridman's computer world logic is a little bit loose. Very, very loose. If it hits so hard when you get rejected by new... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, thanks. The show doesn't explain things well for non-fans of the original. Yeah, no, it's, yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, I know, it can get a little confusing, because you're just thinking, like, did the timeline and stuff matching up or whatever. Mujuman didn't connect enough with the unemployed dude for those shipping moments. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Like, I think the problem too is like I'm trying to remember his name. I did remember Koyomi has a lot of stuff going on that he needs to figure out with himself before he ever tries to like hook up with anyone. You know, he's got to take care of himself before anything like that could even happen. Maybe it was a mistranslation. I mean, it is a mistranslation for sure. That's exactly what the mirror and mummy thing is. It's just that it's annoying to me that like something that, I mean, it's not like that major. It's not like a huge deal, but it just feels like it's like, come on guys, like that just seems kind of silly. Like I feel like if you had read the sentences, those few sentences yourself after you translated them, you would have just realized, wait, that doesn't make any sense. But anyway, Yao should have had me translate. I don't make trivial mistakes like this. Ooh. Shots fired. You didn't miss anything. They really didn't give enough screen time for Mujina and Kiyomi's relationship. Yeah, okay, that's kind of how I felt. I felt like they were trying to imply stuff between them, but then they just didn't do enough. So Galma is the same dimension as the 90s show in order for that news to connect. That's how I feel about it, is that they're in the real world now, quote unquote, you know, like, but it also, they don't technically even have to be in the same world per se, for it to be like, to match up or whatever, but like, because I mean, I feel like with the random logic stuff in here, you could even say that like in this world, Galma was like pulled into the world that they're in, because I originally thought this was the same places from the first season with SSSS Gridman, but even if it's not, like it doesn't. I feel like it's supposed to be the real world. I feel like some of the implications that I'm seeing, like this is supposed to be the original live action 90s world. And that the world from SSSS Gridman it's in its own little bubble. It's its own digital world that kind of was like made into like kind of like a real world, quote unquote. Again, I really hope that like, I would really wish that there was like a series that some of its story delved into flushing out some of the lore in Gridman, and giving names to things like that, like the world that Yuta and Rika and everyone comes from, that is its own specific thing. Like maybe there's even a name for like what that is, and I don't know. I don't know. I just don't feel I'm not a huge theory guy. I like to try to just go off of what I've been given a lot and not try to but yeah, it's whatever. I'm just gonna end up going on a tangent if I don't stop myself. Whatever. Sagama's the same. Yeah, I can't defend this. That mistranslation was just awful. I hope the dub fixes this line, but I doubt it. They better fucking fix that for the dub. Like, come on. I'm really curious too about the dub. I haven't double checked on that because I actually really liked the first anime's dubbing. I originally watched it in sub, and then I watched it in dub. And at first I wasn't too keen on it, and then I grew to really like it. So I kind of want to do the same thing with Dynazenon. Like, I'd love to rewatch the whole series and watch it dubbed. Especially I want to see if they get like the same people back for like Second and Night, same voice actors for those and everything. So Dynazenon is fighting the same world, and nobody in the 90s would believe in kaiju, even though they have kaijus in front of them. Is fighting in the same world, and nobody in the 90s would believe world believes in kaiju, even though they have kaiju. I don't understand that question exactly. I'm sorry, Ghost Have. TJ Wolf, definitely in the real world, Nakaday definitely based the fake world on it. There's too many things. Yeah, they're similar. Pretty sure Funimation doesn't care about getting things right or fix. Oh, I don't want to get into that stuff with the subtitle stuff. Not in like not in the chat like this. I don't think Funimation is like that. Well, you know what? I can't say it. I haven't really delved into it, but I don't think they're like trying to be like that dumb about stuff. I have seen some really bad arguments about the translation stuff that I really don't agree with thinking that they change too much on stuff. I've seen plenty of threads and people talk about in defense of like when it looks like there's changes made with the dubbing when technically there really isn't. It's just more like trying to make sure that people understand and getting the point across of what the actual words are trying to say. But I'm not really keen on like listening to how Funimation does stuff. I'm not like I'm not in the know. But the real world is aware of kaiju, and they do destroy the city, and Dynazenon is fighting them in the same world. Okay. Now I get why Galma died as a kaiju user and became a human, but we don't. Shizumu. Oh, right, when you were trying to help me out earlier. Galma got revived through hacking skill from the 90s show's villain, right? Yeah, basically, like, that's how he got revived originally. Originally, he got revived. But they're implying that this thing was a second revival. Like, this was Galma being brought back to life, like, 100% now. Or maybe everyone else does, and I'm just an idiot. Who knows? Oh, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not 100% sure. I think it's... I don't know. I thought that they explained that poorly, but the way you explain it makes more sense to me. Okay. Japanese exposition has this issue where they spend way too much time on simple things I understand easily, but they breeze through more complicated things that I use more information on. That is very succinctly what I've had problems with sometimes. The exact same thing. And I don't know entirely if it's a cultural issue. It might very well be a cultural thing with Japan. And maybe there's a lot of things that like are inferred or something that like we're not getting. Yeah, but I do agree with that a lot. There's times where like I don't need every single thing explained, but I feel like there are some concepts that don't get explained enough. And yeah, the stuff that doesn't need as much explaining, they explain. When important things are glossed over, it's kind of like, yeah. If Shizumo's talk about letting others change you is referencing that kaiju just become part kaiju and gain their strength is part of why Genesis act different after domination. I think, oh, yeah, that would actually make sense that they gain, well, they had, yeah, because they have talked about, like, kind of gaining kaiju powers. I guess that would make sense, that, like, using that power, like, some of the kaiju power seeps into them. Shizumo did a Lelouch Code Geass post. Yeah. Would have made way more sense if Shizumo used Insa's aberration to turn his hope for a kaiju world into a kaiju. Yeah. But you know, he doesn't know what that word is, so they had to use their own one. We all know you should only pull out of a kaiju. Hi, Laura. Hey, thanks for joining the chat. Thanks for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. Oh, God. God. I mean, there's some people who probably want to pull into a kaiju. Anyway, since Auntie could read Akane's heart, I always thought that Kaiju Genesis were a variation of that. People that could read, write, edit Kaiju's heart. That makes sense. That does make sense that they probably have a little bit of that. But they've also stated that no one fully understands Kaiju, too. So, I don't know. I feel like a lot of this is inferring things that, like, they aren't fully explaining. But, Insus Aberration, that's what it's called. It just raises too many questions. Yeah. From the phones, the dates seem to match roughly with our world. Pretty sure Dynazenon takes place in 2020, but that's from an early episode. Yeah, I feel like it's probably set, like, in modern time. Baron 301, hey, definitely a part of the digital world. Okay. Yeah, you see, like, I don't know. Like, I feel confident at first saying, like, it's part of the real world, but then, like, I don't know. Again, I also don't think it's, like, I don't want to say, like, I kind of feel like it doesn't entirely matter. Like, it's not like, oh boy, like, that changes everything. It's like, these worlds are still treated, they're real, they're still real to the people who live in them. They are actual living beings. So this is some digital world, they still are people, so, I hope they connect Dynadragon and Dynazenon, but if they just have them be unconnected, it just raises too many questions. I do feel like that's what the implication is this is basically Dynadragon, but with additional steps or something, like extra shit. God damn it. The 90s series people don't know about kaijus. However, Dynazeon's world is fully aware of kaiju as they fight in front of them and they are walking about the street. Oh, right. Well, I almost feel like, too, that the way that Gridman ended, the 90s Gridman, that by the time it ended, they realized that there were otherworldly beings and that there were kaiju and stuff there. Because of the stuff that Khan Digifier does a few times in the series. There's like 3/4 of the way there's a 2-parter where he kind of like broadcasts some of his shit to like everyone in the city, so that they know that there's shit going on. So even if it was in the real world, like, they're still implying that these people would actually know about it. Plus, I don't know. It could go either way. I think I understand the Redman comic better than I did some things in this, and if you've read that, you know that is not a good sign. Oh boy. Maybe Japanese shows explain the simple things so much so the viewer doesn't pander on the bigger issues like poor writing on loopholes. I don't know. I don't want to say that, like, a broad generalization about that, but, like, I just feel like it does feel like sometimes they just don't go on that stuff, but I don't think it's, like, bad writing per se. I think it's really just, I think some of it is just, it's different styles and everything. Like, I don't know how to compare that Um, I don't have enough energy to go into like a big brain talk about that stuff right now, but I don't know. I don't think it's that exactly. It actually reminds me of the local hero series where we see the hero and a monster fighting, but people walk by so casually. Regardless, the last fight was epic. Emogi doing the instance domination was sick. Best fight of the season so far. Yes, absolutely. And considering it's been an hour now. Oh no, my window. Don't show that. I think it's about time we got into the final episode. Oh no, Funimation will don't get me for that. I hope not. That was 4 fucking seconds. All right, episode 12, finale time. All right, so we already had episode 10 where they decided, no, we're not using a title sequence. And of course, there's no opening title sequence for episode 12. So that's 2 episodes that they dropped. They gave themselves an extra minute and a half of animation. And second is not really healing Galma, more like just being like, I'm giving him some really powerful painkiller right now because he is not doing hot. Koyomi is coming in. The Kaiju is big and strong and really powerful and wrecking shop. God damn, just fucking look at this thing. I love this shit. This kind of design, this is like ideas I've had for a Kaiju. Have a similar vibe to this for like my own like story idea shit. If you ever seen Better Man, anime back from like, I don't know if it was the 90s, early 2000s, showed up on TV on like Tech TV, if anyone remembers that. And if you do, you probably qualify for a senior discount. They used to have a show on Tech TV. It was a little block called Anime Unleashed. And Better Man was one of the random animes that they showed on there. 26 episode, I think, regular ass anime back in the day. And had a lot of really cool concepts, but also I feel like the last time I watched it, because I think I still have it on a hard drive somewhere, which I am definitely not ashamed of saying, because you can't find that anime like anywhere, like unless you want to buy some prepackaged shit that's been sitting on someone's shelf for like 20 years and costs like $300 on eBay or whatever. But the point is that Better Man had some really interesting designs. Like the main character, he would turn into essentially a kaiju and fight other kaiju or monsters, whatever. And some of the designs and stuff from his transformations have always like been in my head ever since I saw them, and have inspired a lot of like what I would like to see in like kind of like a main character in OC or whatever. And this guy gives me some vibes similar to that. Except actually I think I like this design more so than even Better Man's, like because he went through several transformations, but the last couple episodes he gained like a final transformation, which I remembered liking when I was way younger, and then when I watched it again years and years later, I was just like, this last design isn't as cool as I remembered. It just looks like a really big bulky version of him, but this, I don't know, the gold trim and everything, really liking that. Yeah, so our Kaiju Genesis see the Kaiju and just like, oh shit. And then they all try to use their instance dominations on it, and like, it's not working. And they're like, oh, is that Shizumu? Shizumu, are you in there? Are you that guy? And they're like, please, consume us. Let us become one with you. Oh yeah, this was originally going to be part of my thumbnail. I was going to try, I actually had cut out the head of this kaiju, and then I was trying to do something cool, like where I'd have something here, but then it just looks stupid. And I was also like, do I really want to show the kaiju on the front of the fucking thumbnail? I feel like that's might be a bit of a bitch move. But anyway, he eats them all, and they basically like fuse together, and basically they ride this thing like a giant kaiju mech suit sort of deal. And it gets a power up, and then, man, of course, I'm gonna try to like slowly go through this framing. Yeah, so the body opens up a bit, and then its head kind of like opens up, and just, yeah, that's fucking cool. And then you got like the fucking awesome color glow up, power up shit. It just looks so good. And then Knight's like really not happy because he's just like, oh shit, did this kaiju get like another power up? Yeah, right here. As it just starts to pulverize him, which sucks because Knight just got his ass handed to him before the thing got an extra power up. I'm trying to remember. This is like, I don't know how to go over stuff like this because this is like heartfelt shit. Galma's like dying here, and I forgot some of the stuff they said. They were saying they were right. He wanted to like apologize to them for pulling him into everything, and they're like, no, we don't care anymore. We're part of a team now. We're friends and everything. And he's just like, tell Koyomi also I'm sorry, and he's just like, tell him yourself you need to live. And then Knight is just like, I'm gonna fire two of my fucking lasers. How about that? And the other kaiju's just like, I'm sorry, are those water pistols? Fuck you. And just blast the shit out of him. Knight flying in the background, all the mech pieces just slamming into stuff. And they're like, we need to get to our mechs. We need to get to our things. And Koyomi's just like, well, this, I was just like, again, he was just kind of like in the right place at the right time, just like, in the very first episode where he got pulled into this. And he's like, but it doesn't matter. It's different than it was then. So, they're going to find their stuff. Yomogi gets a scar from going through the shit. Finds his boy dying a soldier. Realizes that Yume never actually answered his question if she would go out with him. He's just like, oh well. Can't really be thinking about that when, you know, the fucking world is about to get destroyed. Knight's battling the kaiju, pretty one-sided. Koyomi coming in with the clutch, slamming in with the car. Yume, some of the debris hits her, and then Yomogi comes out of nowhere and it's just like, hey yo, I'm gonna help you get to your mech. Let's go. Goldburn's still alive, and Goldburn's like going in there, protects Knight from one attack, and then Koyomi's like, fuck you. And everyone's there, including Galma, and Second is in there, probably still trying to give him some type of like support so he doesn't collapse. And so I really like this from episode 11, because like in episode 11, Knight's just like, okay, with Goldburn's power I can probably fuse perfectly fine, but it doesn't really have the same power, because the whole point that they're trying to get across is that the fact that each one of them is inhabiting one of these parts is with their own like heart and spirit, it gives it additional power. So they skipped over the whole combination sequence, the Gatai sequence in episode 11. So in episode 12, since they're all here, they do the full combo sequence, you know, so and you know what? I just I couldn't get sick of watching that. It's just a really good fucking sequence. And just the over-the-top glowing cape shit. And then the kaiju's just like, oh yeah, you know what? Let's pull a sonic spin dash. I just like how like all out this thing goes. This gets fully, we're in this shit now. This is it. And the fucking music that they're playing, which I know what the music is, because I have, as soon as the fucking hour that soundtrack came out, I fucking got that shit. And I've been listening to it nonstop, okay? It's really good. It's really good shit. It's very good shit. Alright, It's really just at least fucking up my alley. Anyway, fucking music's playing. We got that shit. This Kaiju's going at him. It's just like, man, you know, like I was getting Sonic Spin Dash. We're like, we're not gonna let that happen. We can't let Sega sue us for copying off of their shit. So, you know, it's just back and forth. Fucking Grid Knight pulling out his giant circular attack that like can wipe out an entire fucking city, and each one of them is like kind of yelling across through this fight, like each person inside of the either suit. Glass is just like, Galma, I looked up to you, I needed you, and you needed me, blah blah blah, saying that you betrayed us, and I only liked you more. And Galma's like, shut the fuck up, Jesus, I told you not to show your face again, and I'm gonna make sure you die this time. And then Mujina's just like, I realized because of Koyomi, the only thing I ever have going on in my life are kaiju. And I'm like, okay, I don't think you actually really showed that well in those episodes, but let's go with it anyway. And Koyomi's like, if that's the case, I'm sorry. And she's like, I don't fucking care if you apologize. I don't need your fucking fake-ass YouTube apology. And then we get to Shizumu just looking like, doing his whole, like, you can't see his fucking eyes anime trope of just like, I'm too cool and disconnected for this shit. Himoge and Yume having like the most connection with him, yelling out to him, and it's just like, I don't think he's actually going to talk to us. And the kaiju just proceeds to blast. Also, I really like this kaiju, that this kaiju doesn't even have a fucking roar. It just like does a really low reverberating like, that's fucking creepy and cool. It just blasts him with his fucking green laser. And then they're just like, we got our Grid Kaiser Dyna fire cannon, but that shit gets destroyed. And they're like, oh shit, I thought with the power of friendship and shit we were supposed to win this. And then Yamogi's just like, disconnect. And this is just fucking funny. I'm sorry. I know this is like a serious situation, but this so fucking silly. Just completely like fucking planking up here. So remember, do people remember that? That was a thing. I don't remember what even time period that was from. It's just gone in the blink of an eye. But anyway, Yamogi's like, that may have been coincidence, that thing I did with that instance domination that may or may not have worked, but I gotta try. So there's that moment where it felt like maybe he actually had done the instance domination with that other kaiju. So he puts everything he's got into it and fucking instance dominations this bitch, and it fucking works. And he does it just enough power to make this kaiju aim its beam away from the rest of them and stop it for a few seconds. And then they disconnect and reconnect into Dynazenon mode. And Dynazenon fighting with Grid Knight. And just some wonderful, like, fucking teamwork shit. They fire the missiles and then run into the kaiju, punch it with the missiles exploding around it. And I think this one, the full burst, they use, like, the firestorm shit from, like, the wheels. Grid Knight combines with fucking Goldbird and does, like, a fucking, this shit. And I'm just like, yes, I want the toys even more now. Fuck you and take my wallet. And they're just like back and forth, just beating the shit out of this thing. And Grid Knight gets a good beating on the back of the kaiju and breaks that crazy like crystal shit on his back, which was firing off some of its lasers. And then they transform into Dynarex mode, and then Grid Knight gets on top of that shit, and they just firing the giant laser, and then they're like, we're gonna fire both of our lasers at the fucking same time and do this like, crazy combo attack, and then starts blasting through, and there's that great image. Oh god, just like, I like that little tongue out. This is funny. And they're like, no, this isn't the end yet. And they're like, yeah, it is, bitch. And they fucking beat the shit out. I like the fact that it's not even like Dynarex even biting it. Grid Knight punches it, and Dynarex just like kind of headbutts them. But it's just enough to finally put these guys to rest. And they're just like kind of accepting their deaths and you think this is enough, blah blah blah. And then Glass is just like, no, I think Kaiju will still have their future, but we're dead. Yeah, we're gone. And Shizumu, whatever, fuck, just being all like, whatever, I'm too cool for this shit. And that's the end. It's like they saved the day. Dynarex and Grid Knight, Kaiser, fucking Goldburn, whatever. Just some nice shots there. Galma collapses. He's just like, I never got to see the princess. And he's like, but now I think I finally know why she gave me Dynazenon. Because I got to meet my friends, my 3 friends. And someone, I believe it was someone on Twitter, had said this, and I always I hate this because I'm not trying to like steal shit, but like I hate how so many people like can see this stuff better than I do. I wish I could do it. I wish I could be more analytical sometimes, but they're saying that they think the reason why all this stuff happened, that she gave him Dynazenon, was because she knew it would take more than one person to control this thing. So basically, it was a way for Galma to like connect with people. He had to connect with people if he was going to use Dynazenon. So it was a gift from her to help him, connect with people. And there was one thing almost that I didn't like about, like, one thing about the fight, before I go further, is that, like, I almost wish that Goldburn had, like, done the thing where, like, Chisei would be, like, piloting it. Because I felt like everyone was coming together at the end, but I also think that I don't know if that would have worked too well, because, like, the whole point really was, like, Galma had, like, oh no, because there's 4 of them. I was going to say, like, because it just makes sense that there's, like, 4 people inside Dynazenon, and then there's the other 4 villains inside, like, the Kaiju. So you kind of have this, like, back and forth between, like, the 4 versus 4, thing. I mean, like, I know Grid Knight is technically there, but I don't know. I think it kind of makes sense to do it that way. But I still would have thought it'd be really cool if, like, Goldburn had turned into, like, the mech part, like the rest of Dynazenon. Man, this is sad. This desaturated Dynadragon Rex, just really sad. And then it's like his lights are going on, Galma's fading away, and then it breaks up, and it's, again, another reference to SSSS Gridman, like at the very beginning. It just shatters into multiple parts. And then, what about Galma? 3 months later. So yeah, this one caught me off by surprise, because it's like, this, battle's already done and everything, but, I felt a little bit weird about this, because I almost felt like, man, I almost wish they had done more with the battle. But Dynazenon has been a lot more about the actual characters in the show than it was, like, the fighting has definitely been there, but I am happy that they gave actual time at the end of the series to do a wrap up and see how everyone was doing at the end. So 3 months later, and just, Yume and Yomogi hanging out. And even though we never got an answer, I kind of think that they're going out. Like, that's my fucking headcanon. I cannot believe. I mean, they could be friends, but, whatever. I gotta tell you, this part really caught me by surprise, because I'm like, who the fuck is this fuck? Because at first I was just like, oh, he has a suit. Like, is he some guy with, like, Second and Night? It just came in the last episode. And I was like, oh my god, that's fucking Koyomi. Fucking got his hair cut, put on a suit. I was like, oh shit. Seriously did not recognize. But then I looked at those eyes. I'm like, those same droopy, tired eyes. I'm like, yeah, that's Koyomi. Looking good, looking pretty spry, looking a little bit more put together. All saying their goodbyes, and Knight and Second and Goldburn all have to go, and they take Dynarex with them, and it's just really sad looking. Like, this is just, It's not cool, you know. But it's a bittersweet ending. That's the problem. They say thank you, Dynazenon, and they'll go. And Chise's yelling at Goldburn, thanking it for being a good friend. And then they're gone. Yep, that's right, Koyomi. They're gone. I said Koyomi. Yomogi, whatever. My brain is like slowly melting. So I'm trying to remember so how many interviews. So it seems like so his ex, which really wasn't an ex, his old friend, her husband, the one that he had saved and everything, got him a job. I'm not sure if it's like, well, I guess this is implying, I think this is the school that she used to go to. And then they're just looking at it. But whatever job he got through the X, you know, he did some good stuff and got something out of it, you know, like, you know, whatever. Some character growth, because he did some character growth. He wasn't being shitty about everything with her and her husband, and actually did try to save him. And Chise still seeming like the same as usual, but showing off her tat now. And I also just didn't think about this, that sleeve the entire time might have also been it also might have been protecting the tattoo. I never had thought about it, because I forgot that sometimes people put stuff over it when they're like letting it like stuff heal up or whatever. But I have a feeling that maybe it was something a little bit different, but then she got this definitely as like a thing to Goldburn. Like, I can't imagine that not being supposed to be a it's got to be a thing for Goldburn, especially like you can even see the little hexagonal symbol in the middle. But that's really cool. It's like, I feel like, you know, little things with each of these characters. And of course, Yume's friend uses pictures of her. But that makes sense, because Yume is very adorable, and all these pictures are really good. And school festival. And things seem to be a lot better with Yomogi and his mom and his possible new dad. Which I forgot was something he had mentioned to Yume in the previous episode. That's been his problem. So, seems like things might have gotten better with that. And then they're all putting on like a little horror show, horror-like classroom setup. And Yume's not there. Yomogi goes find her. And they just seem to have very good rapport with each other. And what was it that she asked him? Oh, no, it wasn't she asked him anything. He was just remembering that, I'm assuming in the last bit, like before he, or when he did his instance domination thing, he kind of connected with Shizumu for an instant. And just didn't understand why he would just give up becoming a Kaiju user when he could have had so much power. You know, he would be boundless, you know, like they had a Kaiju that could like distort time and space, that they can basically like live. I don't know if it's implied that they can live forever. I don't remember if that's something he'd said, but they, you know, their lifespans are probably at least, you know, like several times more than a normal human and everything. But I think Yomogi's trying to say, like, you know, that's not what he wants. You know, he wants to be like human. I don't know. I do have to rewatch or reread this part to see exactly what they're trying to say. But yeah, so oh yeah, they're much closer because she has him saying her first name. So I know there's a thing in Japan about usually saying the family name first. And then they go back to the their little horror show thing, and Yume is like a little ghost princess, and Yomogi is the mummy. And I really just wanted to... Can you just get to the fucking scene? Thank you. Oh, come on. Wait, is it after this part? It is after this part. I'm the moron. Never mind. Yeah, they're there. It's just that's an adorable picture. That's an adorable picture. And she's got the scar on her thigh, and he's got the scar on his hand. And I can answer this question. Someone pointed out on Twitter that Galma has a scar on his cheek. Koyomi has a scar on his like ankle or foot. She's got on the thigh. He's got on his hand. And do you know what all of those look like? They look like maybe Z's, but they could also look like S's. And how many S's are there? There are 4 S's. SSSS. And then Chisei has her little like beauty mark mole thing, and that's a dot. And that makes SSSS dot. A fucking course. Like if that's legit, I totally believe the S's. Those marks are supposed to be S's, and that's just another fucking like let's just put the S's in there somehow. Don't know how much about that beauty mark I believe, but also like sure, why the fuck not? Like I could see them going for that. And that was quadruple S Dynazenon. That was just Dynazenon. I'm not fucking saying the S's anymore. I'm getting sick and tired of this. But yeah, I liked the ending. And it's going to take me a while to really figure out how much I enjoyed the series comparatively. Because I do feel like I'm still riding off a bit of a high. Like, there's some stuff in here that I'm not happy with what they did. And I do feel like they could have spent their time better. But the characters in the show were just so much more. The thing was, like, I'm just invested more in these characters than I was from Gridman, from the anime, the first season. I should just say, first season. I'm more invested in them than I was in the first season. And, like, as much as I liked seeing the stuff that happened at the end of the first season, like original Gridman form coming back and stuff like that, and as much as I liked Akane as a character, it's really more meaningful to me to see, like, the entire ensemble of characters being, like, being more invested in, So, the things I think really, really had wished that they had done more with was the villains. And I'm not expecting them to be, like, anywhere near as deep as, say, Akane, but I feel like some of them we could have done a little bit more deep delving into. And I feel like the stuff that we got from, like, say even like Mujina was more or less because she's like eye candy in the fucking show. I feel like that's more about that than anything. Like, I felt like we were going to get more with her, but I feel like the stuff that we saw from her too was just like supposed to be like, oh, we can market her on figures and shit. But yeah, I think overall, I don't know. I honestly was going to make the declaration that I think I like Dynazenon more than I did the first season, but it's really hard because there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff I like about Dynazenon more than I did from the first season of Gridman, but like, I still feel like there's definitely problems with this. If anything, I can easily say that it's on par to me with the first season. So I might have to wait some time to just, like, let that settle and definitely rewatch this series. Hopefully once the dub comes out. And definitely after I bought the Blu-ray special edition. Because, you know what? It's going up on the shelf right alongside SSSS Gridman. And before I forget, we do get the very, very, very last scene where Knight is looking at the seal from Dynazenon, the dragon and everything, and they're in, like, the digital world, and then Dynarex looking a little looking a little bit more saturated there, and lifts its head, turns to the camera, and then you get the Dynazenon logo. So, implications there. I almost want to say that perhaps because he's in the digital world now, maybe Galma is still technically alive, but just can't go into the real world. Maybe his spirit is kind of like infused into Dynazenon now. Or it could also be the fact that Dynazenon in the digital world has its own, mindset, because they kind of implied some stuff like that with the original Gridman show. Like with the vehicles, like it felt like some of them actually had a bit of like maybe had like a mind of their own or something. Holy fucking shit, Zim, Nathan, what the fuck are you doing, man? Also, why is my alert box not going off? Jesus, thank you for the fucking $100 that you dropped. Oh yeah, drop something. I really appreciate that. Oh God. There we go. I don't know why that took so long to pop up through there. Everyone heard that too, right? Like the Gridman Baby Dan came through there. Okay. Good Lord, Zim. I really appreciate it. Oh God, I know I've missed like so much shit in the chat, but thank you, Zim, for stopping by and carelessly dropping this money in front of me. Man. Okay, let's go through some of this chat and see what other people were saying. The last fight saved everything for me. When I was watching, I just stopped caring that some things weren't explained very well. They did use a title sequence at the end with that awesome piano solo. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess that's true. Title card, yeah. Suichi, if that kaiju doesn't get a figure, we write. Well, I'm also upset that we haven't gotten a figure for like the rest of like the original, the first season as well. Like, I'd even if it's just like little vinyls, like I wouldn't mind having all of the kaiju, and especially the kaiju from this season too. The final kaiju is incredibly badass. Yep, definitely agree, TJ Wolf. Ghost Tab, Better Man was interesting. I have control. That's probably a reference to the show, but I don't remember anymore. I just remember white-haired guy with like red and green bangs, and then the girl with big personalities and red and green bangs. Oh yes, I love Better Man, but that name though, Better Man, that's just a pompous name. Yeah, it's a little weird. Better Man. I know that show, the guy with the long white hair that can change into kaiju. Yep, I'm happy that some people remember that. Better Man takes place in the same universe as Gao Gai Gar, by the way. Huh. Well, now I need to look more into that. Better Man kind of reminds me of the Kaiju number 8 manga. Oh, I still haven't read that shit. I need to read that shit. Goes to have Better Man thought, though interesting concepts like robots doing cartwheels. Oh, I kind of remember some of that stuff. Like they had a lot of interesting ideas in that show, but like, oh crap! Forgot to mention Dawn Shine was on the cover of a manga Chisei was reading. I don't know what that is, but that's cool. I got hit with a massive power outage. Really missed a lot. Oh, sorry, Yao. Oh, that fucking sucks. I hope your power stays on now. I don't know. I didn't like the design. It's not bad. I just don't find it as memorable as some of the other kaiju in the series. Okay, that's fair. Not explaining enough is basically Dynazenon's tagline. Ooh. Showing off that seed of Baroque again from Dyna. Typos, that's why I get used for using a phone. Oh jeez. That shot of Shizumu eating his friend's made thing of a caption saying silly kaiju tricks are for kids. That's fine. The second form on the other hand, loved that. Okay. Yeah. I think when it like kind of changes, is a little bit more memorable. The guy from Better Man has a similar funky hairstyle. Has a sister with funky hairstyle. She will blend in with the Yu-Gi-Oh character. Jesus Christ. Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. That it really does remind me of like Yu-Gi-Oh hairstyle. It's so cool to see the kaiju look like it's opening wings on its chest from bursting power. Yeah, yeah. Better Man main heroine was Proto Yami from Yu-Gi-Oh. Hair color wise, yeah. Uh, Second is like Doc from Red vs. Blue. A doctor tries to keep his patient alive. A medic just makes them more comfortable while they die. To be fair, Yu-Gi-Oh came out before Better Man. Yeah, it's still like, yeah. Galma, but I'm dying. Then ain't no excuse, Galma. Is Kaiju Eugenesis getting eaten similar to what Akane got absorbed by Alexis, only this time willing? It does kind of feel like that. That's probably what it's supposed to be like. Yeah, willingly being consumed and become part of the Kaiju. This is even my final form. We know that Dynazenon operates on Getter Robo logic. I don't know what Getter Robo. I don't know what Getter Robo logic is. But I'm assuming it's kind of like over the top ridiculous logic, maybe. Or when Yomogi went into the Kaiju in episode 10. Yeah. I feel like when Yomogi went into the Kaiju in episode 10, it felt like that was a little different. I don't know. But yeah, it could have been something along the same lines as that. Still wish Chisei could have piloted Goldburn. Yeah, it did feel like a missed opportunity. Not gonna lie, part of me wants to see Knight and Second to turn into their kaiju forms to hold off. Oh, yeah, you know what? I almost expected that at the end, like Second to turn, like maybe not Knight, because I feel like he's definitely lost his kaiju form. Also, I feel like that Grid Knight is probably more it is more powerful than his anti-kaiju form. I mean, they kind of like, in that battle in the first season, he couldn't beat the kaiju at first, but then he transformed into Grid Knight and proceeded to kick its ass. So would have been awesome. It would have been awesome. Would have been awesome to see Second like join in the fight or whatever, but I don't know. Like, it feels like maybe she's just not. I feel like she's just not the combat type, which is fine because you need someone like her when you have someone like Knight. He's definitely someone who needs to be wrangled in sometimes, and to actually help people not die like Galma and everything. All That Metal is the best. Oh yes, the OST for this is the best. So All That Metal, All That EDM, and All That Human are like some of my top tracks on there. Just all the different mixes with them and everything. Like, I've got it playing in my head right now. It has not stopped for like the last I feel like 8 hours. I've had one of those songs stuck in my head. Second probably doesn't have a kaiju form. Yeah, I feel like she probably doesn't. Yeah, she can turn big. Yeah, I don't know if she actually has like a full. Yeah, I don't know if she does have a full-on form, but I still feel like she's just probably not as strong combatively. But no, I could be wrong. I just get that vibe. Kaiju that chuckles is surprisingly scary. Yes. It kind of gives off the same vibes as like the Predator doing his little laugh at the end of the first Predator movie. It was very creepy. Very scary. I actually pumped my fist in the air and shouted, yeah, when Yomogi did the instant domination. Yes, I was very happy too, because I'm like, man, they planted this there in that episode. I hope they, actually do something with it. And they did. Bluta, I guess I can do Gios with my hand. I couldn't pre-order soon enough for that Grid Knight Goldburn toy. Yeah, I haven't pre-ordered that one yet, but yeah, I definitely need to get on that. Shut up and take my money. Yeah. One more D-like cannon effect taken straight from Tiga. I'll take you on your word, Yao. I was kind of wishing we'd see a combination with Goldburn and just Dynazenon. Yeah, I still think it was cool what they did there, though, because Goldburn was definitely one of those, like, man, we want to fuse Night in there, but we need something extra. We made Goldburn, and then it's just like, Goldburn fuse with Night again, but just by yourselves. Grid Knight gives him a punch, Dynazenon gives him a Kaiju smooch. Oh, God. I just want to add, like, a little sound effect there on that part. I almost forgot that bear mascot from Auntie's second episode. That was from Nexus. Huh. Do you mean from the first show? The first season of Gridman? Like the first anime season? Also, I've been noticing that we've actually had like over 20 viewers back and forth on here. I don't know who's been coming in here, but I appreciate every one of you coming in here for this. If you're new to the channel, I'm Bryce, Professor Kaiju, and I do Kaiju stuff, tokusatsu videos, and maybe if you're not subscribed already, press that subscribe button. If you just randomly clicked on this thing, and I see I just dropped viewers. Okay, well that's what I get for promoting myself anyway. My inner self, Mujina, no. 3 friends and Chisei. 3 friends, Chisei and Bluto's mom. Oh, that. I'm not sure. This is getting like into a sexual thing, guys. Come on. Leave that for my sexy kaiju stream that I'll never have. The heavenly 5,000-year-old thighs is dead now. What? Oh God, no. Guys, like, I get it, but like, I just you people and your fucking anime thighs. That part I don't really get. Galma was never really a loner. Yeah, his friends were the eugenicists, but I don't think the analysis works unless we straight up define he's some loner that hates people. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's not like a really good, like, one-for-one thing, but I don't know. I guess. Seriously, Chisei got super shafted in this show. I wish she had gotten some more time. Like, we had that one episode that kind of focused around her a little bit, but I feel like, yeah, she kind of got left on the back burner a lot. Hime's message, I want you to at least make 3 friends. Feels like some forced connection that turns into the strange way to try and read things. Yeah, a little bit. I think he meant like he made new friends he didn't end up betraying. Maybe. I guess that's horrendously weird read though. I don't know. Well, I thought something fell there. Chisei getting kind of shafted is kind of to be expected. All the MPs basically get shafted in the show because it didn't have the time or structure to support them. Yeah, I really hate that. Koyomi looks like a straight up Yakuza on the time skip. People hating Galma and Galma hating normal folks, aside from Dynazenon being a plot device to force normal folks to like him, it doesn't change Galma much. Knight stole that scene with Koyomi. Who are you again? Oh, yeah, he did. I forgot he asked him that. I was seeing the same thing. At first, Galma shows up for one frame there. My money is on Koyomi sleeping with his boss's wife. I'd like to say that Koyomi is a little bit better than that, and hopefully won't do that. I seriously thought Chisei said Koyomi had an ex-husband first. Yeah. It one of those like I think I also had to reread that line when I first was watching it because I've read it, kind of came off weird. And now Chisei will be accused of being a Yakuza member because she has a tattoo. Yeah, oh god. That shot of Shizumu eating his friends made me think of a caption saying, silly kaiju tricks are for kids. Kiyomi is of every job interview mentioned, he helped pilot. Kiyomi in every job interview mentioned he helped pilot Dynazenon. I mean, he thought he had a job there, and he kind of did. You know, like, yeah, I kind of helped save the city. I mean, you know, a lot of it's been destroyed, but the whole place would have been wrecked if I hadn't done that. So, you know. Next trigger anime poster in the background. Was there a poster in the background? Did I miss something? I was literally shouting at the screen, please let Yomogi and Yume kiss. Yeah, I had a little bit of that. I like to see like little romantic things like that come through, but you know what? Yeah, it's okay. They definitely seemed like they are getting along very well. The side material said that the short-haired girl who bumped elbows with Mei actually likes Yomogi too, by the way. Huh. Interesting. At least they held hands. Yes. And isn't holding hands the most lewd thing you can do of all? So, I mean, honestly, I'm surprised it got past the censors, honestly. I wish Yume got a piggyback ride from Yomogi while saying Wingu combine or get. Oh, that'd be. Oh, no, my heart. That'd be too adorable. These two got together. That's my headcanon. Yeah, I'm sticking to that too. Rip Chisei, not chosen one to have the S scar. No, she just has the dot. But she had the dot at least. So if Knight is an adult, does that mean we might get adult Akane? I'm okay with the Akane never not seeing her again. She had her story, you know. And that means less people can sexualize her with merchandise. Let's just say that. You know, I'm good. I mean, I know she'd be an adult, but I'm just like, Mujina probably got more character than any of them. To be honest, it's all in that one scene where she treats Kiyomi to dinner. Yeah. Okay, sequel talk. Please don't give us a new cast for the crossover. I really want to see these characters from Gridman and Dynazenon interact, even if one cast is better than the other. Maybe. But I also could see them easily just doing a new cast of characters. They should have done more with Mujina. Would have been great to see her grow. Yeah, it would have been great to see a lot of them grow. But yeah, I feel like everyone should have needed a little bit more. Dynazenon is either equal or greater than Gridman. Yep, I agree. Bringing the human cast from S4 Grimace seems like a forced nostalgic fan service. I'm okay with only cameos. Yeah, I feel a little bit more like I kind of wish it was like I don't know. I'm okay with it being a new cast of characters, honestly, more than I am with like seeing them all come back, or at least like maybe some characters like having some. Yeah, I don't know. If it's done the same way as these first two seasons of anime have been done, then I'll be all for it. I could see it being a new story and a new cast of characters having to deal with their own problems. But like, what the fuck is a Dynazenon? I don't know, man. I see this. Mujina was the only kaiju user I cared about, and not because she's a good character, but because she's waifu bait. God fucking damn it, Nate Fire. Jesus Christ. The Red Mohawk guy is a close second because I love how he just resorted to attacking someone when they ran out of kaiju. Yeah, that was really like fucked up. Yeah. Simzilla is here. Okay, Dynazenon is its own kaiju. Dinorex looking a lot more alive today. Yes, all the Genesis together couldn't match Akane alone in her personality and motive. No, they really couldn't, and it's very sad. It is Simzilla, which is a big shame of Dynazenon. A bit off more than it could chew. Wrapping up. Just very confused about Dyna and his relationship to Dynazenon. I don't have any answers. But I must go to my planet. My beer needs me. Oh, I'm sorry, Zim. I already missed you, like, way before. Thanks for stopping by, though. Don't Shine was the Universe Tokushow and Ultraman Geek. Okay. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I want kaiju body pillows just for the hell of it. I love kaiju body pillows, yes. I'm the big party pooper, but I was definitely not sold on the last episode. Great action can only cover up so much for a plot that felt directionless for most of it with a poor villain cast. I'm not completely arguing with that. Yeah, I do feel like there was problems, and I don't know if I'm just riding off of the high or whatever from the show, but I saw something like this coming from a mile away, though. They can't magically solve the pacing problems, vagueness, and other plot-related issues with the show in just 30 minutes. No. I'm happy with what we got. Here's the thing to me, the stronger pro-tag casting is rendered moot by the lackluster villains and reductionist plot that makes the overall package worse than Gridman to me. I would argue against that, but I understand where you're coming from. I understand that feeling. Day one listened to the lyrics for Dyna Strings, talks about Hyperworld, and I think Neocon Digifyer's arrival. No, I did not, and now I need to look into that. I'm sure we'll get better coverage in the crossover, but like I said earlier, to me, it's just like, oh goodness, lazy that I lost the comment. Oh no. Writing shows degree. Yeah, I agree with I get it. Yeah, I do. Did they address why Galma said, "I guess I never told you" after he apologized to Kiyomi? I don't think they did. No, well, he was saying that because he was saying he never told Kiyomi like all the stuff that he had mentioned to Yume and Yamogi earlier in the episode, like where he was like trying to say he was sorry for everything that happened. I think it's just like he didn't realize Koyomi had no context for why he was apologizing. During the team episode, we saw Yume remembered her and her sister hugging mascots and monster the head. Oh, yeah. I do. I know what you're talking about. I just wanted to make sure you were talking about this season of anime and not like the first season. Considering just because Kiyomi doesn't know Galma's apologizing. I want them sexy kaiju stream. Maybe. Yup, Deban, the kaiju mascot. In the background, we see a bear mascot, the bear mascot from Ultimate Nexus. Oh, okay. It's from Nexus, and I've been watching Nexus. Maybe I missed. Maybe I haven't gotten that far. Also, who dropped the cores? Oh, yeah, they showed people arguing, and then we saw a hand drop them. What does it mean? It's a good question. I don't know if that's. I still feel like it's from the eugenicists, one of them, but we don't have a clear answer on it. Hey, Professor. Toku. That's right. I forgot that that's your username, Toku Josh. Incredible ride. Really, really love these post shows. Thanks, man. I can't wait to see what's up next. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Thank you, man. I never like to talk about things because the few times I've actually mentioned about putting something out, I didn't get stuff out. I'd like to try to make these streams like more, like at least do like a monthly stream or something like that. Yeah, I need to make some stuff. I've been trying to set myself right with that stuff. I definitely am planning to do, I think, an actual video on Dynazenon as a whole. But that probably won't be out for a little bit. But again, hopefully sooner rather than later. Kiyomi did write that he self-learned Dynastrike. Oh, fuck. Every time, like, I use my scroll wheel, it just, like, goes way too far. Yuta gets a season where he controls his body in the crossover. What? Oh, yeah, I guess because Yuta never actually had control of his body, per se. Yeah, that's, yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah. Yeah, it would be, whatever. It would be cool to see you, whatever. I'm sorry, I'm tired. Yeah, technically he never had full control of his body by the end. I would prefer a new cast for season 3. You might get Green Yuta. Oh my god. Yeah, just new color swaps for the old characters. Do you think we will get a female hyper agent things in the next show? That's an interesting question. It'd be cool if we did. I'd be cool with just getting a new hyper agent in general. Because like Grid Knight kind of took the place of that stuff in this one, so it would be interesting to see another hyper agent come in. So yeah, that'd be cool. But I'm not thinking we will. Most likely not. But it could happen. I hope the next series has fewer villains, so they can get more character development. Yes. I would appreciate that too. Or if they're going to do something like this, they get something more akin to like a 20 episode run or something than like 12 episodes. So they can maybe, have little extra little fluffy episodes that just like some fights or some interesting stuff, but get enough episodes that they can still flesh out characters more through it or something. Super S hang up on fan service is kind of the problem with the company stuff as of late. I love me some fan service, but that's limited resource they can't get away with milking forever. Mecha doesn't sell as much anymore. How do we get the views? Oh, yeah. Super Raya, Mecha doesn't sell. Bandai, excuse me? Yeah, it's, I don't know. I feel like I've heard that a lot about Mecha not doing as well anymore, but I feel like that's kind of like a mixed thing. Like certain things do sell in the mecha space, but I don't know if it, like I'm not gonna completely, while I wish shows would not have to rely on things like fan service for stuff like that at all, like the way that they do. I understand that they're trying to get money and they need to make money to keep the show going, but I don't know. I just hope Gridman just keeps going. Since we're getting another season, that makes me happy. But I kind of hope that this just becomes a normal series in general. If they can keep up the storylines around this level, I'll be happy. I would prefer them to putting a little bit more time into things like character development, but overall, I've been pretty happy with what they've put out. Mecha Bagheera pillow, please. Oh, yes. I think if I remember correctly, I think Bagheera was like one of my favorite ones from the original series. Taguchi talked about how hard it is to have convince the higher ups to allow Sevenger in at all. Wow, that's so stupid because like Sevenger has been like one of like the best like every time like I'd see anything about Ultraman Z, they just like people fucking lost it for that guy, for that little goofball of a robot. Dynazenon story ain't that good, but neither was Gridman. It's a show for people that still enjoy that genre. That's how I took it. It's a fun show for fans. I enjoyed it greatly. So did, yeah. Mechs being considered a part of the Definite team is a problem. Defense teams weren't selling, so Ultraman killed them off for a while. Okay. I don't entirely agree with the sentiment. Gridman had a really simple story that was black and white, but it worked for the 12-episode format, so it left little unexplained by the end. Simple could mean bad in your book, which is fine, but being simple, I think being able to cleanly wrap things up and do simple well makes it strength more than a weakness. That's just what Super likes to do. Old Ultras return a lot as mentors for the new Ultras. It sells to us Kaiju fans, but maybe they have been slipping in the fan service to attract newer audience. I mean, yeah, that's how I feel too. And based off some things I've seen, I think they have attracted a few of the wrong sort. It's just how it is. Professor just agreed to have more thighs. I did. Fucking yow. Ugh. It's like guys, like I understand. Like okay. I'll put this out here. I like the sexy anime woman, okay? I like the sexy thighs, okay? I'm perfectly fine with that. But you know, sometimes when I watch one of these shows, I'm watching it for the characters and that stuff, okay? If I really need that stuff, you know, I just type some stuff into Google, okay? That's all I do. I don't have to do it from like a established show that has like actual writing in it, okay? It's like, come on. Come on! Like, it's called hentai! God damn it, guys. Anyway. Hope that doesn't get me demonetized. Jesus, I never thought they've ever... fuck, whatever. The Gridman definitely had pacing on the... okay. I'm not trying to be mean. I just know that some of you guys are having conversations in the thing, and Yao is very opinionated. I'm not making fun of you, Yao, but you definitely got some opinions. And I am also a very opinionated guy, as I am a white cis hetero man with a camera and a YouTube channel. So obviously, I have plenty of opinions that no one asked for. It's time for S4 shows to explore something new. Give us Sigma. Give us Hyperworld. Also, please give us sexy Hyper Agent Lady too. God. I want to visit. I want to see more of Hyperworld. I want to know more about Hyperworld. I'd love to see Sigma or just another grid person. You can have your villains not be too devolved. Take Alexis, for example, but he makes up for that in charisma. Yes. Mecha Bagheera was the kaiju controlling the mummy in episode 18 too. Ah, okay. Interesting. Sevenger appeared in one episode of Leo, so to see him come back was a treat for fans. Okay. These streams have given a bigger appreciation for the for the show. Oh, Natefire. I hope they have a little bit, you know. I mean, they're not like been enormous or anything, but I hope that like it's been helping. I hope other people have been like doing some streams so like the series gets you know, pushed out a little bit more. Like, I'm not expecting it to ever be like a mainstream thing, but it just feels like it's like really on the back burner. And I think like a couple years ago when I'd gone to a convention or two, like I went to G-Fest and I think I also was at Katsucon because that's nearby where I live. I was looking for more Gridman stuff because like it'd only been the past year that SSS Gridman had come out, so I was still thinking I'd see like cosplayers, and I saw like two different people. I saw someone dressed up as Caliber and someone dressed up as Akane, and I didn't like, I could still have missed people, but like I saw like it was almost nothing there. And also I think the problem, one of my my only like real big Annie YouTuber that I watch, Mother's Basement, put out a video not that long ago talking about how there seems to be like almost too much anime. And the way he explained it, I almost agree that there are so many shows that come out every season that it's really hard to pick and choose which ones you actually want to watch. You know, that you want to devote that time to. And a lot of the shows that they've been putting out have been good shows. It's not just like, oh, I watched the 3 good anime from this season or whatever. He's like, he's saying like there's a lot of shows that are like several seasons, like one season of anime could have like 12 top-notch shows to it. And then the next season, you know, not even year, the next season could have like another 10 amazing anime. And it's hard to keep up with all that stuff. And I think like that reflects at the cons too, that, you know, people want to dress up like, you know, you've got people who dress up like what's mainstream, and I'm never gonna bash that. I know some people just like to do the costume stuff, and they see something's popular, maybe they'll watch a little bit of it or whatever, and they're like, I want to cosplay that. I'm like, that's cool, you know, you do you. Other people who just watch the shows and they cosplay who they really love in those shows too, and you know, and I think that's almost reflection of like how the anime stuff goes. Is like I see there's some stuff that's been like entrenched that I'll see people do costume wise or selling merchandise of, but like a lot of times it's just stuff that I don't even know anymore because there's just so much of it that comes out. And I think that Dynazenon and Gridman both were really good animes, but I think in the like never-ending torrent of stuff coming out that is just hard for people to keep up with, and they just don't watch it. Plus the fact that it's not, I don't feel like it's as well known in general. So like it's fighting a battle on multiple fronts, and I think it's it's sad a little bit. I'd love to see like more stuff from there, because I mean it's got enough human characters that people could at least pull off the human cosplays stuff. I know not everyone wants to fucking build a whole kaiju suit. Not everyone's just like crazy or crazy or as just crazy as me. Okay. But yeah, it's I hope more attention gets brought to this series, especially if they're gonna do a third season. Come on, guys, come on, people, sheeple, wake up. I agree. This stream really made the anime more enjoyable. Oh, thank you, Ghost Have. Fan service is what fans need. If you're not servicing fans, whatever. Okay. Would be cool for Blue to get Sigma in the crossover bonus if Takeshi is his support. I actually felt that Dynazenon wasn't bad on fan service. Yume and Chise were both cute, but not sexualized, as all as Yume had lots of agency in the plot. Yes. Harusa art. I don't think I've seen you here before. I don't think I have, but if you're new, thank you for coming to stream. Yeah, actually, I think that the fan service was handled way better than it was in the first season of Gridman. I do appreciate that. That was one of my big gripes with the first season. So they definitely dropped that a bit. I just wish that characters and some of the plot points had been explained a little bit better. But just can never get that perfect, that you can never balance everything, unfortunately. Depending on whether or not they reel it in, this new Ultraman show we got going could end up being a small disaster, though. Oh no, that doesn't sound good. I have preferred her more devolved than just be there for fan service. Fan service isn't exclusively TNA. References, Easter eggs, the posing, the animation of the fights are all factors for fan service. Yeah, I guess if I do, yeah, I always want to say, I always think of fan service as just the sexy stuff, but I guess that's true. You've got the whole spectrum. Like, I mean, it's definitely, I see those awesome fight scenes, and that's my fan service right there. Okay, I'm referring to TNA, just to be clear. Yeah, I had a feeling, Nate, that was definitely probably the what you were talking about, what most people talk about, but I never really think about it in like a broad like sense. The Gridman anime shows are not big in the West, but they have been commercially successful in Japan. Yeah, so I was hoping that like maybe getting big enough in Japan would finally like pour over here, but it might also not help that like Gridman was just not as well known here. Like Samurai Cyber Squad left a little bit of an impact, but it did not leave like a huge, I think it would be way different if they did some like Super Sentai anime, because of how big of an impact Ultraman. Oh fuck, I said. Oh boy, the impact that Power Rangers had, over here and has had on the fucking world. I think that would be possibly much, people would talk about it more and be more interested in it. In other words, we call those other types of fan service references. Yeah. I thought Gridman was a healthy splash in the States, not JoJo tier, but big. But everyone was talking about it for a while. Okay, maybe I missed it because I didn't watch the first season of the anime. Oh, hi Ryan. Until later on, so maybe I missed some of that. That like little wave. Gridman rolled off of Rika's thighs meme. Oh my god. Actually had plans to make a Megatron cosplay that lasted about a minute, since it is now just 2 cardboard boxes sitting somewhere. Aw, I'm sorry. Just make a Dan Boro cosplay then. Oh god. Dynazenon toys do sell out of the first round, so the anime does bring some money. Yeah. Holy crap, the Dynazenon robot toys are selling out. Oh no. SS Gridman wasn't... Orion, please. Wasn't that heavy on fan service. Yeah, we had like 1 or 2 ass shots of Rika, but other than that, it was pretty much tame. Other than showing Akane's feet. Yeah, well, that's the thing, is I feel like there was just... It might just be me. Like, I know it's in comparison to other animes, it's more lenient, but I'm sorry, once I got to the age of, like, being, into an adult, seeing over-sexualized high schoolers makes me uncomfortable. That's all I gotta say. It's really like, when I was a high schooler, perfectly fine. It's like they're my demographic, that demographic. Now I'm just like, oh no. I hope I'm not on an FBI watch list. Those typos. That swimsuit episode of S4 Gridman was full of boobs, thigh, and butt shots. So yeah, it was. That was that episode, and then just that part where Akane pulled off her tights and you could see her feet, and then the foot close up. I just feel uncomfortable. Just really uncomfortable. I think Gridman's overwhelming amount of references made it stronger fan service show. Made it a stronger fan service show. Dynazenon is getting rebroadcast because its ratings are great. I love to hear it. You love to see it. Still tame compared to other shows. It is still tame compared to other shows. I know that. But that's also why, like, some other shows, like, don't want to even get into. That's just how it is. Like, if I know a show, if all the characters are, I don't know, like at least 18 or something, that would be one thing. But the problem is, like, I don't want to really get into that right now. Just to say that, like, I'm just not... I really would just like it if they just stayed away from some of that shit. That's all. I know, unfortunately, it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Considering Sentai is dying, maybe a Sentai anime would save it. I mean, everything else has been doing, like, Ultraman put out its anime. Gridman's putting on anime, like, I'm curious if Kamen Rider... Oh, right, there is going to be a Kamen Rider anime, right? For Double, I think based off of the manga or whatever that they had for it. So, yeah, Super Sentai, maybe they should shoot their shot and see. To be fair, 90s Gridman was incredibly sexual for some reason, too. It did have a couple things in there that were a little weird. It's true. Yeah, the show was way tamer than Gridman. I mean, in the episode with the cop model lady, the episode with the punk kaiju, I guess, they had some things in there. Super Sentai anime would just be combining a super robot show with Sentai robots. Seriously though, why do we gotta have those close-ups of her feet? Yeah, I know, I feel the same way. At least we know Mujino was old enough to drink. Yeah. I feel like Mujina is supposed to be older. It really makes sense for her to be older. They were all died 5,000 years ago. Like, I feel like that they all are, even when they died, that they were adults. Looks like Professor Kaiju needs to read from the book of Mechanical Realism and Dazed and Confused. To be fair, anime super robots are all derivatives of Ultra 7th King Joe. Keeping teenage to obviously grown woman like Moonjo would be fine as long as it's tame. Yeah, I just think it would just be better if it was just like that. Whatever, I don't want to have this conversation right now. Keep W anime sequel. Oh, right, it's a sequel to the show. Yeah, gotta think about what's going on through their heads. When our main character's hand going haywire is demonstrated by him groping Yuka's butt. Oh shit, that did happen, didn't it? I forgot about that. Yeah, it's probably, I probably just like pushed it out of my mind after I saw that and just did one of those like, oh, Why'd you have to do that, Gridman? Why? Ah. Ah. This show was no Darling and the Franks. Yes, thankfully it was not a bunch of, never mind. Okay. Well, sorry, my eyes are kind of like getting strained now. But anyway, that was Dynazenon. In the end, my thoughts are I really enjoyed it. I wish some stuff had been better. I wish some of the characters had been, for the villainous side, been fleshed out a little bit more. But for the most part, I really enjoyed the show. And hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully I can figure out like how I like it. But I think it might be at least on the same playing field to me as the first Gridman series, first Gridman anime. But yeah, this is a wild ride, 12 episodes, and I think they did pretty well considering, and I'm really hoping that the next series, the Dynazenon Gridman crossover thing is on par with this. So, don't know what that's going to entail. Don't know how the story's going to go with that one, but I think Trigger's been doing a pretty good job with it so far, but we'll just have to see. If they could have like a better, like a storyline more thought out though with some of the characters and explaining things, I think that'd be good. What, Orion? Do you not like Gridman? That would be very sad because you're my cat, and I'd really appreciate you not hating my religion and my house. What's your score for this show? I give it 4 Godzillas out of 5 Mothras. Man, if I just had to give it like a rating right top of my head, I would probably give this thing a 9 out of 10. That's how I feel about it. I think it's like way the fuck up there, for sure. If I was being like serious about it, like something like that. It seems to be the plot device for TNA. Don't worry, she's like 9,000 years old, though she looks like 15. Yeah, that is, and I'm not happy with that. Thing with the Kaiju Genesis though is that they all look and come off as if they were at least adults. Like, I feel like they're all past 18. I feel like 20s or something like that. So, I don't feel like that weird with them. So, but yeah, I've always felt uncomfortable about the, don't worry, I'm actually a 9,000-year-old dragon lolly, I'm like, yeah, so, this has been fun. The show has been really good. Except for the few things, I always have to say that. But I've really enjoyed Dynazenon, and I hope that the next series is just as good. I will never accept the 10,000-year-old dragon lolly. I appreciate that, man, because I know a lot of people will. I don't either. I'm broken record, but the next series needs a Kaiju Getai. That would be cool. Some Kaiju fusion or something. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. A lot of you guys have been regulars on here, and I really appreciate that. And if you do enjoy these, I'm hoping to try to do at least one stream a month. After this, don't know exactly what it will be about. There's a bunch of different series I guess I could talk about, or things, but like I'll have to figure that out. Or hell, it could just be backwards, or back and forth thing, like we talk about something, or maybe I do one of those, game stream things or whatever. I don't know. But if you've enjoyed these, I hope you've enjoyed these, and I hope you've, stick around. Don't know when my next stream would be if I do keep continuing with the monthly stream, but I will definitely post stuff in the community posts and on Twitter. So if you follow me or you subscribe to me, you should be seeing shit come up when I'm ready. So Squidward on a chair. We're halfway there. Is that like living on a prayer joke? Yeah, that's what that is. Could stream for new episodes of Ultraman Trigger. I could do that. I could try to watch like a new season of something or other, because I have not starting this July. Okay. Yeah, I would be very that might be actually fun anyway, because everyone can make fun of me and joke around on me about me not knowing a goddamn thing about Ultraman. I'd be like, oh, look at this guy. Probably a kaiju you guys all have seen before. George, and we've got Steve, and we've got Franklin. And we've got Mecha Franklin. I'll have no idea what the fuck I'm looking at or talking about with all the references or whatever. But anyway, again, thank you everyone for joining me on the stream. So yeah, I will hopefully see you guys soon-ish. I can't. I'm just repeating myself. I get to that point where I'm getting just tired enough that I'm like, did I say this already? But yeah, I'll let you know when I do another stream. And we talk about another show. Maybe it'll be Ultraman. Maybe it'll be something else. Maybe I'll play a video game mindlessly or something. Anyway, guys, hope you have all a good night. And maybe if we all spam at Subaraya, we can get those sexy anime kaiju body pillows. And I mean kaiju, not kaiju girls. I mean full-ass kaiju on a body pillow. All right.